Okay, I'm going to show you what you have to do if you bring your ball nut too close to the end of the thread. If you do that, the bearings will drop out, at which point you have to undo the two little Allen screws, which will release the covering, which will then release this bar, which breaks into two. The bearings actually run through this. You'll have the bearings running around on the thread, but also they come up and through and across through that, you see. You should have 67 bearings in total, BBs. Okay, I'm going to show you how to reload this. What I think you'll find the easiest way to do this is the hardened tubing which you're given. I would cut it down to length so it slots onto the end there, with just enough left to then put your nut onto the end there, so that will be tight up against the end of the thread. I'm going to now do that. Okay, this is what you'll then end up with. You want it so that it can actually turn around on the shaft, but cannot slide back and forth. Okay. Now we're keeping this the correct way round, with it pointing that way towards the motor mount, the Lovejoy connector. I'm going to slide that back on. Okay, sorry, I need to remove this little nut, slide it on and then refit the nut. Right, okay, sorry. So I'm a little bit tired, it's been a long day. I've had other things to do as well. I did most of the tutorial earlier, but I thought I'd finish off the tutorial this evening. I thought this would be something worth showing to you. Okay, so we take it along to the end, so that's tight in the end, so no bearings can go that way. And what we start to do is we take the bearings a few at a time and we load them up into this end. And they'll keep disappearing. And then what you do is, as they continue to disappear, you keep loading it up. And you slowly keep turning it, so that they slowly work their way through to the end with the nut on. Okay. Just continue to load it, keep on loading it. Then once you've loaded it up with as many as you can, so that then just below this entrance hole, the same on the other, you'll probably find at that point you'll have about 4 or 5 left. Then what you then do is you load the 4 or 5 that are remaining up into that. You then close the 2 halves, and then you'll carefully locate that into the hole. You probably need to put that on an angle, etc. You'll then put that back in. If you've done that correctly and loaded it correctly, you shouldn't have any binding. If you have got binding, then you need to take that out again and carefully check all the bearings, and you may need to reload it again. Okay, I'm now going to load this up. I'll show you how it should look before we put that piece in. While you're loading this up with bearings, you should keep turning the shaft towards you. Okay? and as you do so you'll see the bearings keep disappearing. Don't try and load it up too fast, otherwise you're just going to back it up and you're going to jam it, and then you're just creating more problems for yourself. Okay, as you can see, now we're preloaded this with about, I don't know, 60% or something. Okay, I'm going to continue to load it up now. Okay, we've got this nicely loaded up now. And just where it thins out down there, we've got the bearing sitting. We've also got that loaded up. We'll put those two halves together. Then the tricky bit is carefully locating that into here without dropping any of the bearings, or also binding that up. Okay, I'm now going to load this up. Okay, what I've just done, that should make it easier, is I've just put a little spot of lubricating oil in there, just into there and also into there. Should stop the bearings sliding around as easy while I'm loading it up. Okay. Okay, now that we've loaded those up into there, before we even move this, we need to put that cross brace back on and put these two little Allen screws back in. Okay, if you did the last process correctly, which I just showed you, loading the ball nut with the bearings, you should be able to smoothly wind that up and down without any problems at all. Okay, anyway,